Winter morning was cold and quiet in Green Bay, Wisconsin. A thin layer of snow covered the ground, and the grey February sky cast a dull light over the city as residents began another ordinary day. Nothing about this scene suggested that one of the most disturbing criminal investigations in this city's history was about to unfold.
One husband, one wife.
Both true crime fans.
A different case every episode.
One terrifying story at a time.
I'm Carla.
And I'm Phil.
Welcome to Terrifying and Twisted.
Hey up.
Hey up.
Welcome to the reboot of Terrifying and Twisted.
Welcome back.
It's been a while.
If you are new here, me and Phil started this podcast way back when during lockdown.
Yeah.
We had fun.
Sort of by force.
By force. If you are new here, you won't know the story. That I basically... Phil one day decided to say, oh, do you know what? We both like true crime.
Yeah.
We could do a true crime podcast, shall we?
That's all I said in a passing comment.
And then Santa came.
And then Santa Claus came and fetched me a microphone.
And you freaked the fuck out.
And I opened it, I was like, I don't think this is for me.
Yes, it is. And then from then, it took a few months to get your head around it. But we did it. We did about 26 episodes.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it, although it was very basic.
Yeah.
Me and you, bedroom, 2 fishing chairs.
1 microphone.
And 1 laptop.
Yeah. So now it feels quite weird having a microphone each.
Yeah, and a camera in front of your face.
Yeah.
You're not used to that at all.
No, not at all.
So if you are new here, that is a little bit of background about me and Phil and this whole podcast. But we have had many people nagging at us to come back.
Yeah. Shout out to Nat Dobson and her daughter. Charmaine from Canada. We had someone message from Australia.
Yeah.
Aaron Eccles, Billy Mortimer, Yemi George, Rach Walker, Steph Brown. That's all I can remember off the top of my head.
All the usuals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're back. We decided to... I think we've both wanted to do it, haven't we?
Yeah, but different times it's been one or other. Like, I've been ready, but you aren't. Or
Yeah.
you've been ready, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Because I thought in my head, we've done 26 episodes. We've sort of done a podcast, and then we can listen back and say, yeah.
We've done it.
One time we did a podcast.
But now I think, well, we are both ready. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And we've
Because missed it a bit.
Oh, definitely missed it a bit.
Because obviously we're both massive true crime fans. I think mine started when I was younger. I used to watch Crime Watch with my mum on BBC One. And then a few years ago, I had a window cleaning job, and I used to keep my earphones in, and for 8 hours, I'd just listen to true crime.
Yeah, and then you used to come home, and that's what we discuss over dinner.
I'd tell Carla about it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we discuss over dinner. What serial killer you've listened to today?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we're back.
What about you?
What? When did I get into true crime? I don't know if that is the right thing to say. Get into true crime. I've always been fascinated with different aspects of it. I don't think I vividly remember what case drew me in, and that was of the little boy that was reported missing. Apparently, just got, forgive me because I cannot remember his name, but it was London. His mum had reported him missing. Apparently, she'd woken up that morning and he'd just got out of their flat. And I remember that case so vividly because I remember saying, this is bullshit, there's something wrong here. And then a few days later, they found his body in a suitcase.
It was bullshit.
It was bullshit. It was just like, you know, when we always listen to things and people say, if people go into too much detail, they're lying. That's what, like, she described everything. Like, it was just, I just knew, I just got the vibe. So that was the case that really...
But you can't remember what it was?
I can't remember the name of it. I will figure it out. I'll find it. I bet people that are watching it will know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was the case that really got me, sparked interest. And then, to be fair, you coming home, like, you used to ring me, because when you used to window clean, we used to speak a lot on phone.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, you never guess what this person's done. Can you believe X, Y, and that? Like, and then we used to discuss it over dinner.
Yeah.
And then came the whole, we discovered watching live court trials on YouTube, which become an obsession.
Helps.
Yeah. So, yeah, that I'd probably say.
So, before mine and Carla's old podcast, what we used to do is we used to do a case every episode.
Yeah, we did.
Now, that didn't really help in terms of rushing about trying to both do a case when we didn't have a backlog because we jumped into it both feet first. We didn't have a backlog. We didn't have a plan. And we were both doing a case each week. So we were doing a case each week on a Wednesday. Carla furiously editing it on a Saturday to get it released on a Monday.
I didn't have a clue how we distributed it. Like, we knew nothing, did we? We literally started at the bare...
And we still know nothing.
Well, we know a bit more. Like, give yourself a bit of credit. That's why we're now sat with a mic each.
Yeah.
And it's moved on to video podcasting.
So we basically decided in January we were going to do this. However, we promised us 2 kids that they could move bedrooms, so we've had to get all decorating done.
Yeah.
Get all furniture built.
And then in between that, there's been kids needing trips here. There's another trip there. Yeah. There's one. Eldest has just gone to Tenerife.
There's always something.
Yeah, always something. But we're here.
Yeah.
We've got this far.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to do is one episode I'll read a case, and next episode Carla will read a case.
Yep.
We try to keep it secret from each other, not knowing what we're going to read.
Yep, because it definitely helps with the reactions and authentic reactions.
Yeah. However, Carla did watch the YouTube court proceedings on this person.
On your case for today?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And she's one of the few women that scare me.
Well, you've said that sentence about very few women, so I have an idea.
Well, a few of them being Eileen Warnos.
Yep.
Joanne Dennehy.
Yep.
And Taylor Schabusiness.
Fuck off, is that who you're doing?
Yeah. I'm sure there is a few more women, but all I can remember with the Joanne Dennehy is that picture that they put out front of the newspaper with
a knife.
With a knife in
yeah.
her hand. Sticking her tongue out.
We watched a documentary on her, didn't we, as well? And she was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
so,
this is a bit crazy.
Are you doing Taylor Schabusiness then?
Yeah.
Wow, you're in for a treat.
So I hope you got your brews ready. First of all, what I'll do is I'll read a trigger warning for this episode. Let me get my grandad glasses on.
So you can actually read.
Read my... Trigger warning. This episode discusses sensitive subject matter, including descriptions of violence, sexual assault and murder. Listener discretion is advised. So we start with young Shad Thyrion, 24 years old, was born in Green Bay, Wisconsin, September 7th, 1997. To Tara his mother and Michael his father. Shad grew up in the area and graduated high school in 2015. He was close with his family and friends and worked for a local construction company. Outside of work, he fished and hunted. He were a shy person who opened up to people once comfortable. Shad had a casual sexual relationship with Taylor Schabusiness, which had happened through mutual friends and social interactions in Green Bay, often involving encounters influenced by drugs and substance abuse. Taylor Schabusiness was also 24-year-old at this time, also a resident of Green Bay, and she was born in Chicago, November 23rd, 1997, to her mother Marla and father Arturo. Taylor had significant losses early in her life, including the death of her mother at 11 years old, which I'm sure was really traumatic.
Will have been horrific, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that lose their parents at such young ages and don't go on to commit the things that this woman...
She also lost her brother in a motorbike accident, and her father Arturo was actually convicted in 2023 of sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl. An offence he committed earlier in 2018.
Piece of shit.
Taylor had substance issues and a checkered criminal history, including battery to police officers, resisting arrest, obstructing a police officer, fleeing police, which ended with a car chase, possession of drugs, and in February 22, she was on 2 years probation. Now, I've always wanted to watch one of them car chases on TV.
A live car chase, like America. Car chase. Yeah.
In fact, I'd actually want to be in the car chase.
You couldn't get very far.
I would in our Ford.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure whipping it round corner.
I'll go to McDonald's and I won't pay for my chicken mayo, and then I can be in a car chase.
Pretty sure you'd have to do something a little bit more extreme than that, love.
3 chicken mayos.
And a latte as well.
Back in June 2020, Taylor married a one Warren Schabusiness, who actually, for some strange reason, changed his name to Warren Schabusiness.
Sounds better.
I think it was good for Schabusiness. The couple had a son together, and eventually the child ended up living with family. Her husband was later incarcerated in federal prison for methamphetamine charges after pleading guilty to possession with intent to supply. That was obviously his Schabusiness. So back to Taylor and Shad. Monday, February the 21st, 2022, Shad was picked up in the evening by Taylor from his mum's house. They hung out with another friend at an apartment and smoked weed. They went on to do meth and trazodone, injecting the trazodone into their system. And when I googled it, it is an antidepressant. I don't know why.
But yeah, how weird to inject it into you.
So Tuesday, February 22nd, they went back to Stony Brook Lane, where Shad lived with his mother and her boyfriend Steve. And they continued with their drug-fueled sex session.
The best kind, I've heard.
The best kind. Mum and boyfriend were out that day, but they said that Taylor's van was there when they left and there when they got back. They hadn't seen Taylor or Shad, but they had heard their voices and knew it was them in the basement. So February 23rd, sometime after 3 a.m, Tara, Shad's mum, had woken up to the house door banging and a car leaving. She went to have a look to see if everything okay and see if Shad was still there or had left with Taylor. Noticing the light in the basement, she descended down the stairs and saw a 5-gallon green plastic bucket at the foot of the stairs, covered with a towel, near a mattress in the basement stained with dried blood.
That poor woman's life is about to change.
It's about to change, yeah. At 3:25 that very morning, Green Bay police got a phone call from that Stony Brook residence. And for anyone that's interested, you can listen to this 911 call on YouTube. And I think it's Tara on the phone who phones 911. And then I think her boyfriend Steve
Gets on phone
as well. You can also see on YouTube when the police arrive at this residence. So the police arrived that morning at 3:35 a.m. They responded to the scene, went down to the basement and confirmed what Tara had said on the phone. A human head sitting in the bucket. That's right, a human head sitting in the bucket. Later discovering that not only was there a head in the bucket, there seemed to be a removed penis in the bucket.
Yeah.
Police secured the basement as a crime scene, called for backup and forensics, and they started the search for Mrs. Taylor Schabusiness. An alert was put out for her and she was quickly arrested a little after 5 a.m. that morning at her residence. I'm not sure if it was her residence, actually.
Am I right in thinking that there were quite a few that lived there, weren't they? Like a shared accommodation?
Yeah. But also, you can watch that video on YouTube. You can listen to the 911 call. You can watch the body cam footage of when the police arrived there. And you can watch the police body cam when they arrest Taylor. So when they arrested Taylor a little after 5 a.m. that morning, she was found with blood on her hands and her clothing. Police started their crime scene investigation, focusing on the basement where blood evidence was found on the walls, the mattress and floor. DNA testing later confirming blood and tissue belonging to one Shad Thyrion. Additional parts of Shad's body was also found, including his torso, in a storage tote bag. Limbs and organs were found in plastic bags and boxes, 2 small knives and a large serrated bread knife. Taylor's van also had evidence inside with blood smears and Shad's DNA, including a crock pot, aka a slow cooker. Side note, you're not allowed to say slow cooker in this house.
It's good job our youngest didn't about.
Because our son hates it. Anytime Carla wants to cook something in the slow cooker, there has been times where he's stolen slow cooker and took it to school.
Smuggled it around for a day just to prevent me from making some tea. Little shit.
In this said slow cooker contained more organs and a foot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Weird. In her initial police interview, Taylor confessed to strangling Shad during sex after consuming meth. Also, available on YouTube is Taylor Schabusiness police interview for you to watch.
All of it's worth a watch.
Well, if you're interested in this case, you need to watch it all. She said Shad had fetched 2 chains to the basement in the dog choke collars.
Silver ones.
Silver dog choke collar. And she said that they'd done this several times, choking each other during sex. She described Shad was laying face down on the bed and, I quote, "I rid him like a donkey," unquote. She could feel his heart beating as she choked him, and she went crazy and choked him harder for between 3 to 5 minutes.
Which doesn't seem like a long time,
But it is.
but it is. Like, we've watched many things that say the effort and the physicality it takes to strangle somebody.
Let me choke you for 30 seconds and then we'll see if 3 to 5 minutes is a long time.
Fuck off.
She said that Shad turned purple and coughed up blood, but this didn't stop her. So when Shad's dead body is lying on the mattress of his mother's basement, she proceeds to play with his body for nearly 3 hours. So what other person do we know that liked to play with dead bodies?
There's quite a few that have liked to play with the dead bodies, isn't there?
I think one of them's pretty local to Wisconsin.
Is it who she were a little bit obsessed with?
Mr. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Also, one that you were interested in was Des Nielsen. He used to do that.
Yeah, but I don't. That's for a different episode, because I don't think he played with the bodies in the same respect as what Taylor Schabusiness played with Chad's body.
Playing with a dead body is playing with a dead body. It doesn't matter if you're playing house, doctors and nurses.
No, but what I mean is, psychologically speaking, there were different. Dennis, the way he did it was to keep those people. Anyway, it's a different episode. Let's not go into it. You're right. Messing with a dead body is messing with a dead body.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this 3 hours, she performs oral sex on his dead body. She puts a dildo in his mouth. She puts a dildo in his anus. After she gets bored, then she starts the dismemberment of cutting off Shad's head. And from what I remember, they described is she pulled his body to the end of his mattress, hung his head over the side of the mattress, bucket wet underneath.
To catch the blood.
Bread knife to his neck to catch his blood in his head.
Yeah, because I remember vividly when we were watching court documents at the court trial, when they were bringing all evidence and showing evidence, I remember vividly saying, well, there don't seem like a lot of blood for the horrific things that she's done. And then they brought in the suggestion that she used the big toes.
Yeah. Not
to
only
catch
that,
it.
she poured a lot of blood down the shower.
Yeah.
Later on, the medical examiner said that his body were pretty much bloodless. His body had been flayed and defleshed. Muscles had been removed to expose the rib cage and spine. The torso had been cut in half, so to get access to remove organs, and that one of Shad's feet was stuffed in his chest, which sounds a bit culty.
Culty.
Yeah.
It just all sounds fucking
Is it
horrific.
culty or is it Satan-y? Is that a word?
It's just fucking horrific.
Yeah. Although I don't understand how she knew to do the back muscles and expose the rib cage to pull the organs through.
Maybe she's watched too many episodes.
Yeah, because there is an episode that we watched on Vikings, and what they do is they open your back and they pull your lungs through, and then they sort of like open it out on your back, and it's called a blood eagle. So it looks like
Maybe that's what she'd been watching.
Maybe. It's fucking gross. March 1st, 2022, Cuters filed charges against Taylor Schabusiness, including first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault. Bail requests were repeatedly knocked back over concerns of flight risk and public safety.
Obviously.
Her first court appearance on Monday, February 28th, a court commissioner set her bond at $2 million. They tried to reduce it to allow release on tag, but obviously that was rejected. September 1st, Taylor's defense attorney, Quinn Jolly, entered a plea of not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. She went on to have quite a few mental health evaluations, including several competency assessments by the court. A defense psychologist says she was incompetent in July 2023, claiming she had delusional beliefs and erratic responses during exam. Now this Mrs. Taylor Schabusiness is very erratic, as you all come to find out. Well, as you already know, but she...
It didn't stop there, did it?
No.
It did not stop there.
A state expert countered that she was competent, and Judge Thomas Walsh ruled her fit July 1st, 2023. February of that year, 2023, during a motions hearing, where Judge Thomas Walsh announced a postponement of her March trial date to get further competency reviews, obviously requested by her defence attorney, Quinn Jolly. Well, Taylor didn't like that.
No, she
So
didn't.
in front of the judge and all the people in the court, she stands up and launches at her own defence attorney. Attacking, swinging punches, kicking, you name it, the lot. Queen Jolly, of course, quit. You can see that video on YouTube, attacking Mr. Queen Jolly.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Queen Jolly quit. Can you blame him?
No.
Her new defence attorney tried to get the judge removed, claiming that he was biased because he'd obviously seen her attack her attorney. Dr. Diane Litton, a forensic psychologist, said that when she interviewed Taylor, she spoke about Jeffrey Dahmer a lot. She was very erratic and at one point threw a chair at her. Trial began July 24th, 2023 in Brown County Court, Green Bay, Wisconsin, before Judge Thomas Walsh. Over 3 days, prosecutors called 25 witnesses, including police officers who detailed the crime scene. Also, Shad's mother took the stand. The defence argued actions influenced by a meth problem, history of mental health, and her diagnosed bipolar. Closing arguments for this case finished July 20th. The jury deliberated for 3 hours before returning guilty on all counts of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault.
Yeah, it didn't take them long, did it?
Second phase of trial was July 27th, focusing on her insanity defence, and the judge rejected what was put forward, and the unanimous verdict affirmed her full criminal responsibility. September 26th, Judge Walsh sentenced her to life imprisonment without parole for the homicide, and extra years on top for mutilation and sexual assault.
See there?
Which I don't get, because she's in there for life without parole. What are you going to do with them extra years? As you can imagine, Taylor's gone on to be violent in prison, including multiple assaults on staff, nurses. No remorse in prison, and that is the case of young Shad Thyrion.
Who were murdered by Taylor Schabusiness.
So while this case of Taylor Schabusiness will be remembered for its disturbing nature, Shad's memory deserves to be more than a footnote in the story. So our thoughts remain with those who continue to grieve his loss.
Absolutely.
Taylor Schabusiness, may you rest in shit.
I would highly recommend anybody go watch everything that there is on this individual, because her behaviour throughout court alone was...
She did a lot of smirking in court. A lot of laughing.
A lot of laughing, a lot of smirking, spitting.
Yeah.
She was made to wear a spit mask.
Yeah. Which you guys will see, because I'm going to put that on the picture for the... Thumbnail for YouTube.
Yeah, she was an absolute... I don't even know how to describe
her. For you to watch on YouTube, there's the 911 call. There's body cam footage of the police when they arrive at the scene. Body cam footage when they arrest Taylor. Taylor's interview. And then Taylor's antics in court.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit. So enjoy.
I remember watching it vividly. I remember when they were giving evidence on what had happened to Shad, and her just sat there smirking.
Yeah, because if you can remember, at one point they called her father.
Yeah, I do. Fucking bringing her own dad out of jail in his jumpsuit to give a character reference.
Yeah, and she was just all googly-eyed at her father.
Yeah,
loving the fact that her father were there.
Weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think when he left, she said, "Go Bears" or something like that.
Something stupid.
Because obviously she's from Chicago. Chicago Bears. I'm sure it would Go Bears.
What did she also say? Something about getting lazy. What were it?
Oh, in the police interview, she said something along the lines of, "I can't believe I didn't take all his bits and pieces with me. I just got lazy and fucked it off," basically.
Like she just forgot the fucking shopping.
Yeah. Can you imagine what...
I feel his poor mum, his poor fucking mother.
Wild. This woman is wild.
Yeah, so I'd highly recommend going and watching it.
Yeah.
So that's it, episode 1 done.
Sorry I were a bit nervous, but obviously it's my first one and I haven't done this for 5 years.
And it'll just get easier.
Yeah, next one will be a bit easier.
My story next week.
So, before we sign off, what we want to say is we've actually started as socials this time properly.
Yeah, we're trying to push socials this time. We did not do it last time.
So please like, subscribe, leave us a review, a comment. If there's ever a certain case that you want us to have a look into,
let us know.
If there's plenty on it, we'll more than happily do it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a wrap.
So,
see you next week.
I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe.